It's on. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Richard. I'm geologist. I'm working now for 25 years in natural disaster, and I will present you in less than 15 minutes project of smartphone application for crowd mapping, crowdsourcing for disaster. Project was born a few years ago. Oh, one thing first. If some of you want to have a real-time demo, since it's not allowed now, you can come to see me after the presentation, and I will make you a real-time demo of the whole system, the smartphone app, and the interface for managing the data. So please do not hesitate to download the app on Google Play or Apple Store, and we can meet after the presentation for a demo. So where did this project come from? The project was born after several observations I did in various countries. First of all, the use of community early warning systems based on physical markers recognizable by anybody. Also, the use already in 2010 in IT of smartphones, cell phones to send data from the field to a central point. And a project realized in France some 10 years ago already, which was the creation of intensity scale to describe natural phenomenon. The physical intensity of the phenomenon, but also the damage, the impact of the phenomenon. So the idea was born 4 years ago, and we started the project in 2012, and it's operational for 1 year now. Sorry. Okay, what is the principle of the service? First of all, you have the smartphone, which is free, available to anybody, and very easy to use. We made it as user-friendly as possible with very simple questions to which anybody can answer to describe something, an event, a phenomenon you are witnessing. We have a system to exploit, to analyze the whole data, the alerts coming from the field sent by the users, the citizens, and this can be exploited by NGOs, civil protections, any authority which is managing, monitoring, surveying an area exposed to natural disasters. So what is the principle? For the description of every phenomenon, we have a scale which is twofold. One part is to describe in 4 levels, no more, the intensity of the phenomenon with simple markers. Simple criteria defining a level of intensity. On the other side, we have separated the damage scale for the impact scale, because it's not systematically correlated. The impact, the damage, is depending on the vulnerability of the asset exposed. So anyway, we have these 2 scales available on the application. And all the phenomena are described with this type of intensity scale. One part for intensity, physical intensity, and the other part for the damages. Okay, so nowadays we have 7 phenomena available. You can see them: flood, flash floods, snowfalls, avalanche, wildfires, cyclones, and hurricanes. And we are preparing other ones, many other ones. There should be 3, 4 more phenomena to describe through the app this year. In priority, we'll put probably storm surge, air pollution, and civil unrest, because we are already extending to man-made phenomena. So it works. You can test it, and I can show you after the presentation how the system is working. So let's talk about the free smartphone app now. So as I told you, available on Google Play and Apple Store. It's available in French and English, and it's been translated in Spanish. It should be available within 2-3 months in Spanish. And we are aiming at translating it in other languages. You can do a real-time report of what you are facing, your experience with disasters. You can also receive on your smartphone, once you have sent an alert, other alerts sent by other users in the neighborhood. And you can find also behavior advices for each type of phenomenon. You can also forward the alerts to Twitter, Facebook. And you have also a set of links with usual early warning system. You can also create a community of users using a code that you enter in the application. So here is the principle. You enter with various 6 or 7 screens. You answer to questions on the type of phenomenon, the place, date, time, hour. The question, 2 or 3 questions on physical intensities and 2 or 3 questions about damages. A video, your own comments, because the scale doesn't necessarily describe all what seems to be important to you. And victims to assist also. And each time you send an alert, you will receive in return a map showing other alerts sent by other users in the neighborhood. You have also a paid application. In this version, you will have your own early warning system, alert notification system, meaning that first of all you have an emergency button with which you can send an SMS, an email to a contact if you are caught in a dangerous situation anywhere you are. It works anywhere in the world. You also have the possibility to choose 3 places in the world, anywhere, that you will monitor. Meaning that if an alert is sent in a neighborhood of 5 kilometers of radius around these points, you will be alerted by a notification in the alert that something has happened and is mentioned by someone around your areas, your point of interest. And you can also contact eventually other users which have accepted. The privacy is under your control. You can decide to remain anonymous, or you can decide to be visible with your phone's email or social network identity. Okay, we have also a web service, which is the interface, a web interface, which concentrates all the alerts, and you can display, select. We have a tool inside this interface which allows you to define a threshold of concentration of alerts above which you will be notified as a user, as a client monitoring, surveying an area, a territory. Once this threshold is sent, it can be a number of 6-4 alerts reaching a certain level of intensity. You define this level, you define this threshold. And when it's sent, when the critical mass is reached, it notifies you by email or SMS that an alert, an event has been created in the area. So you will receive a link in the app, and it will open you this web interface and show you the various. Here we have an example of event which has been detected. This is an example. Another thing interesting we have in the application is that we have already compiled several flood maps of complete countries. We have whole UK, whole France. We have also flood maps on Haiti, and we are compiling and adding regularly hazard maps of various areas in the world. So it's very user-friendly. You don't need to be an engineer to manage a system. It's really made to be accessible to civil protection and people who have basic knowledge in computing. Okay, we have also some derived products which are professional data, SIGNALERT Access, which is the same thing, but it's open to anybody, meaning a national or regional authority must have subscribed to the service and will make it open to anyone. Anyone will be able, just using a link, to consult and to see the alerts sent by anybody in the area surveyed. SIGNALERT data is a simple way for people to get, it's data mining in fact. You get directly to our server and you collect the data, you can export them. All the data can be exported in usual formats such as KMZ or for Google, and it's or Excel. We have also a module which is still experimental but will be available this year, which is an exploration of a social network. When an event has been created with our system, we go a systematic crawling of what is the whole flow of data going through Twitter, which could concern the area. First of all, the first criteria is geographical, and then which can be in relation with our event. So we sort the data, we analyze them, and we extract informations which are in relations, in tabular ways, information which is in relation with the event. Or we can also detect when the main topic concerning people in the area is not in relation with the event. This means that you can have an idea of what is the mood and preoccupation of the population in the area where the event is occurring. Okay. So we have some real cases. It's in use since 1 year. It's tested now by the French flood early warning system. We are also ongoing in other regions of France on forest fire, on avalanches, and some also catchment areas authorities which are using the system and testing it. So you can see the interface. When you click on an alert, you can see the whole details, and you can see the picture and click on the picture and have it magnified. Sorry, it's below, but it's in fact it's an event detection where you have several alerts which have triggered the creation of an event, and you are notified. You open the interface and you see immediately what are the alerts which have created this event. Okay, so the system is highly replicable, in fact. We have designed it to be transposed in many, many contexts. It's not dependent of the system. It's still depending of the language, but it can work anywhere. It's been tested in many, many countries, in Haiti, in Iceland, here in Japan. I can do you a test in Morocco. So it's really usable anywhere and by anybody. So I think I will have finished. So our strategy is to open the project. From the beginning, the project was an open project. And we joined some scientists, practitioners of civil protection, of civil defense to design the intensity scale and to design the system. We also made regular feedback with users to improve the system. I think we have partners and testers that we can see on the left, mostly in French, but we are also in contact with other partners, but not testing yet, but we are trying to approach them. Okay, partnerships. That's an appeal to you if some organizations are interested in joining us, testing us, assisting in development, funding, introducing in their country, translating. Just contact us, and we will be a pleasure for us to extend our network of partners and also our network of users. So I think it's finished, and it's up to you. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Okay, if there is no question, please do not hesitate to join me after for a real-time demo of the system. And I will try to make it work, provided that internet is working. It's not always the case. Okay? No question? Yes?
Okay, thank you. In your presentation, you mentioned about the accessibility and also how that the application is friendly users. When you say that, you also consider persons with disabilities as the users?
I mean, it would be quite difficult for blind people, sure. But when you mean disabilities, what type of disability?
Or like all kind of disability, excluding the physical ones, like deaf, visual impairment.
You must see the application, and you must be able to click on the smartphone with your fingers. That's the minimum. At least you must have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have not designed it yet for disabilities. Okay. The first step is to create the network of users. I mean, normal people, and then we can extend to people who have disabilities.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm John from South Sudan. I've seen you said about the flood moving from village to village. Is there any mitigation or control for that flood moving from village to village?
I didn't get you.
Yeah, I have seen flood moving.
Yeah.
Start from somewhere and moving from village to village. Is there any mitigation to control that flood? Water moving.
We are working on 7 types of phenomena. we'll be working on drought. But on your phenomenon, I didn't get exactly what is your phenomenon you were talking about.
Yeah, you are talking about the big data.
Yeah.
This is big data, I know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but how do you control the plot? How?
You mean the reliability? And,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have several tools in the platform which allows us to. Yeah. Sorry, it's finished.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.